All right, we are here with another Celtics draft scouting video. Today, we're going to look at Auburn big man Johni Broome. I think he won the National College Player of the Year award over Cooper Flag this year, or maybe it was Flag and he was top two.
He was
It was one of the
runner-up.
two.
Yeah.
Okay, Cooper Flag was one of the best college basketball players this past year. Spent multiple seasons at Auburn. Obviously, got to the Final Four before eventually losing. Florida won the national championship. Began his college career at Morehead State for 2 years, then spent 3 at Auburn, completing a 5-year collegiate career. Excuse me. Mock draft at Yahoo has him going round 2, pick 20 to the Knicks. So this would likely be if the Celtics ended up trading back or something is not really in their range, unless they really, really liked him. Some of the strengths, according to KOC: effort, defense, playmaking, finishing, scoring, shooting's concern, and athleticism. He is the classic, really good in college, doesn't really look like it'll translate to the NBA unless you find the right team. It's sort of an eye of the beholder type thing with Johni Broome.
Yeah, I mean, just really incredible college career. Really solid player, or I wouldn't even say solid, great player in the SEC for the last couple seasons. Obviously, like Jack said, nationally was a beast this year. Almost won the National Player of the Year award, and now is entering the draft. Everybody, I think, thinks Johni Broome is a lot older than he is. There were some draft tape videos that I was watching where they were joking about him being maybe 25 years old, and he's not. But he is somebody who plays both ends of the floor, has a pretty good feel for the game, the kind of things you look for in a role player in the NBA. The problem is a lot of his scoring came in the he's the best guy in the team, he gets to play on the post type of offense, which he would not really get if he was in the league. But the interesting part of this is I think Celtics fans in particular would really like Johni Broome if he was on the team. One of the attributes on the scouting report that Kevin O'Connor has that Jack has on the screen is got that dog in him. Celtics fans love. I mean, really, I think if you're a sports fan, no matter what team you support, if you have a guy on your team that is just outworking everybody, you are going to love him. And a lot of the statistical output, especially defensively, has a lot to do with that. And he's a really good hustle guy, hits the offensive glass hard, averaged almost 4 a game over the past season. So he's going to work for you at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, he hustles. There's no doubt that he hustles. It's just a question of can his game translate to the point where the hustle comes with effective play. So no ceilings as well. Has his stats up. He averaged 18.6 points, 10.8 rebounds, 2.9 assists, 0.9 steals, 2.1 blocks, only a turnover and a half per game. Shot 51% from the field, 27.8% from three. The goods, according to them, are his rebounding, vision, and versatility. And then some of the pros and cons. Pros, cleanup duty, one of the great rebounders. Playmaking, floor spacing, upside. Cons are his age, positional size, and athleticism, and his role. Shades of Kelly Olynyk, Day'Ron Sharp, and Jalen Williams, according to No Ceilings. We can check out some of his highlights here as well from his time at Auburn this year, starting with a step back three.
Perfect fit with the Celtics, especially with Tatum out.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I appreciate the good college players. I always get so worried. Like, it's like with Ryan Cockburner, right? Like, Ryan Cockburner's huge, can't really move that well, in my opinion. I mean, you can see the room for the drop coverage and how he can affect the game that way. Johni Broome isn't the best mover. He moves a little bit better than Cockburner, but he's also, I'm going to check, 4 inches shorter than Ryan Cockburner. Playing center, like that's where I get concerned. Like, at least Ryan Cockburner has the size to give you the drop defense, the wingspan to give you the drop defense. Like, that'll translate. Johni Broome almost has to play power forward because he doesn't, like, he has some of the defensive versatility, but he's not the best one-on-one defender. Like, he can give you some of these blocks we're seeing where he'll time it perfectly and he'll play help defense and some of that. And obviously this hustle, that athleticism's nice, but can it be consistent in the half court set? Like, I don't know how much of that tape we're going to get to see here, but all the concerns and all the stuff you see is he's not the best athlete. Like, can he have the foot speed? He made up for that, but he got beat off the dribble there. Like, it's just, will it be able
By
to
somebody
translate
playing for Vermont, by the way. This is not even an SEC game, and he's getting cooked. So I know there are question marks about his switchability on the perimeter, and he really feels like he's built for the college game. What I will say, like his path to being the runner-up for the National Player of the Year award does say a little bit about his character and work ethic. You mentioned he started at Morehead State, really dominated in the Ohio Valley Conference for the first 2 seasons, then goes to the SEC and continues to be a continued impact player. So I think there's hope that he could be somebody you bring off your bench and feel really good about the energy you're about to get from them. A lot of his buckets are below the rim play for a 6'10" guy. I don't know how well that's going to translate in the league, as you said. It's one of those tough cases where he had an incredible college career, but now you have to adapt your game once again to fit into a minor NBA role. One of the things
Yeah.
throughout these that I get like really excited about is when we watch tape of somebody that is just a role player. In like when we watch the Rasheer Fleming tape and he's just doing off the ball stuff and still being really effective, you're like, holy shit, this guy could go play for the Celtics tomorrow and be ready for whatever they ask him to do. If you draft Johni Broome, no matter what team you are, unless you're like the Brooklyn Nets, who's probably going to have a lot of opportunity for all of the young players, there's going to be real growing pains with the guy that is no longer allowed to be the focal point of the offense.
I think he's a better athlete, but I get Drew Timmy vibes. Full
Oh yeah,
great rebounder in college, awesome, finisher, solid post player. I think he's a better defender than Drew Timmy, but that's still, I don't think that means he's gonna be like Hawkrunner, like where you can see the pathway. Like I just I don't know. The defense really concerns me. The offense is fine, but even the offense is like all of the buckets he's getting are either him driving to the rim as a ball handler or him scoring in the post, neither of which I think will be the opportunities he gets in the NBA. So it's really hard to evaluate a guy when almost nothing of what he did in college will be translatable in theory to the NBA level. I mean, we can watch a full game as well. Like we can watch a little bit of this Auburn versus let's watch Auburn versus Georgia so we don't get copyright struck with some of the
okay.
March Madness games, just because it's earlier in the year and I don't think it'll cause as many issues. But hopefully we can get some possessions of Johni Broome on defense if this is the correct game. I don't see Johni Broome on the floor. What number is Johni Broome in these clips?
4.
4. Okay, I'm trying to find him. Number 4. I don't
One
see him
thing
on the
about
floor.
him that a lot of the scouting videos will point out, and also scouting reports that you'll read in mock drafts, he does have a pretty good sense of when to hit his teammates on offense. So there's hope that he can maybe thrive as a short roll guy where he's making plays. But even then, like I still think that's going to be an adjustment for him. It's a lot more quick. Don't have the ball in your hands a lot, and you have to be able to move on your feet, head on a swivel, and hit the right guy. In the NBA, by the way, with better athletes in college.
Yeah, let's try this. Let's see. It's Florida Auburn, but I don't think it's the tournament. I think it's a earlier in the season game. Here's Johni Broome guarding
Right.
Alex Condon on the perimeter. We can get some defensive tape or some other stuff. I mean, solid play there. I also worry with some of these plays. Um, how many of them are going to be called fouls in the NBA? That look maybe he got ball there. That looked like a lot of wrist at first. Um,
It's
so I worry
lagging a
about
little
some of
bit for
those.
me, so I can't
Okay.
really help on the official replay on the call.
Okay. Well,
Oh, he might have fouled
hopefully it
him.
evens out. Yeah. I think he got a lot of wrist before the ball, but it is what it is. We can watch some of the game length things. Let me know how unbearable the lag is, and I can turn it off if need be. But yeah, I mean, just immediately goes to the post and gets blocked.
With a weird, slow post move, by the way.
Yes. It just I I've watched a bunch of highlights, and I've now watched 3 possessions, offense and defense combined. I don't think I've seen him leave the paint.
It's just a
It's
force. He's a
like
force down
like
there.
ready, watch. He sets a screen, and then where does he go? Okay, space
Yeah,
sets another
setting a
screen.
screen.
I will say the rebounding very good, the playmaking very good. Like those are 2 skills that you can have hope, you can know, you can appreciate, and hope will translate. I just don't know if his movement and his play style will be good enough to carry those along with him to make it worth it for a team to pick unless they're taking a late round flyer or an undrafted.
Yeah, those things they are the best tools maybe for a guy who's not going to be an offensive focal point, especially as a big man. Like you can talk yourself into maybe he's an energy guy that comes in and just wreaks havoc on the boards and gets you a bunch of extra possessions and maybe makes the right read on a kick out after an offensive rebound, like that kind of thing. But like even then, that's such a niche role. Like if you're
Even
drafting somebody hoping that they can turn into that, it's not the best.
And if you're drafting somebody hoping they can turn into that, it's probably not the guy who measured into the combine at 6'9" and 0.25, 249. Like that. That's probably not the guy you're going to grab with a 7-foot 0.25 flat wingspan. Like Thomas Sorber is also 6'9", 0.25, but he has a 7'6" wingspan. Like it's just the measurables aren't there for the skill set that he is hoping to provide at the NBA level potentially. Let's look at Sleepers Media. Let's see what they think and go from there. Obviously, the numbers are going to be there for Johni Broome. Insane stats: 18.6, 10.8, 2.9. Phenomenal statistical player at the collegiate level. His strengths, according to these guys, if they ever pop up on the bottom of my screen, are polished game, interior force, secondary playmaker, shooting upside, and experience. Weaknesses are lateral quickness, inconsistent shot, and athleticism. Let's see what else they got. One word: bridesmaid and productive. Floor and ceiling versus floor. Okay, so we have one guy who's a little more optimistic. Heat and Spurs are the best team fit for these guys.
He would be a great Heat culture guy. He's like the perfect guy to get like shooting powers in a playoff series.
Mm-hmm. They both think he'll be on the bench. Most likely to be a GM in Ice Cube's 3v3 league or win EuroLeague MVP. Not the best. And then best case, worst case, we can take a look. I just saw a friend on the best case, so we can watch.
I said Daniel Tice. Just a backup big that kind of just bounced. Like he was like 6'10", like in that tweener-ish range. I think Tice was a little bit more explosive, but Tice ends up playing for like the German national team. He's bounced back and forth between, the league and overseas. Had like
Started
one
the
good
finals.
year. I think that's kind of going to be Johni Broome's path.
So absurdly far away on the swagger scale from Johni Broome, but yeah, I don't hate the cut.
Daniel Tice is German swaggy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I was going for a legitimately good NBA player that also I think had explosion questions. Like coming out, it was like, okay, he was a really great college player, but like, can this really work? He's undersized. He's not a great athlete. He's kind of just like a bully, productive dude, lefty. Oh shit, we got to the league and he can do a lot because he is really skilled. I said Julius Randle.
Oh my word!
I said Julius Randle.
I think I'd rather have Tice.
Best athletes that we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it wasn't what he was billed as coming out of Kentucky. He was billed as an undersized ground bound 4.
Yeah, but he'll punch on you.
Injury concerns very early in his career. How will Julius Randle ever get his athleticism back? Guess what? 10 years later, he is one of the more.
This guy doesn't like the Julius Randle comp, and even if he did, I don't think he would be a fan of it. What are the worst?
Worst case player comparison for Johni Broome.
So I went with a big that his game didn't translate outside of 1 year in the NBA, and he fizzled out of the league, basically. I said Jahlil Okafor.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I went with basically smaller, shaped like you, Jahlil Okafor. I said Jared Sullinger.
Assault.
I'm just blessed that I was 100% prepared.
All right. Let's go to the tier. Wait, what'd you say?
I said assault. Just roasted him.
I know. Let's go to the tier list. Where do you want to put Johni Broome? I will say, of the 4 players that they listed on the tier list maker, obviously 2 were Celtics, and so you can get your Celtics. Only one of them I would be happy to really have on the team right now, and it was the best case of Daniel Tice. That doesn't leave me feeling great about Johni Broome. I'm not very high on Johni Broome. I get it. Like, I understand the pathway to him being a solid backup big in the NBA. I just don't know if it's going to be there defensively. And if you already have, like, your big man positions in question, especially at the spot the Celtics are drafting in, I don't think that would be the pick. If they traded back, maybe you could talk me into it, or if it was an undrafted summer league, I don't mind taking a look at it because there's clearly talent there. Are we doing, like, is this tier list for their draft slots or just for a Celtics pick?
What do you mean, like their draft slot? I mean Boston's draft slots, or like if
Like, is this for 28 and 32, or is this for if the Celtics took them in some like draft or post draft or whatever?
I actually don't remember what we decided on because there was discussion of this before. I think it's the same for me regardless. I mean, I think if you draft him with your earlier picks, it's a little bit of a what are you doing? There's just better guys. Yes. But I still think I'd put him on the C tier. Like, I don't think he's terrible. I think there are things he brings to the table, even with the question marks. But, like, of the big guys we've looked at, I would rather have, if you want to count him, Rasheer Fleming, Danny Wolf, Sorber, Maxime Renaud, Kalkbrenner, and it goes on. Maybe I'd rather have him than Yannick. But there are guys we haven't even looked at that I would rather have than Johni Broome, which when I wrote the scouting report for Hard Houdini, I was like, listen, all of these guys are here. It just makes it really tough to talk yourself into him.
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love Johni Broome. Maybe he can be a fine player. It's just none of his like game, based on what we saw in college, looks like it will translate to the NBA. It is what it is. Let us know what you think of Johni Broome. If you really like him, I'm sorry. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, tell us who to look at next.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you're thinking about Johni Broome. I know we had a couple people in the comments put his name down. He did work out with the Celtics, which is one of the reasons why I pointed to him today when Jack was like, who would you like to look at? So they've at least looked at him. They've taken a closer look. So it's something to monitor. You can subscribe to the channel. We're here every single day with new content. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps drop the morning after each game during the season. And then other videos like this one are up on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. More draft content coming in the next 10 days now. 9 days as you hear this until the draft. We're getting close. Should be a fun couple of days here. We're on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and game recaps are up there, so if you just want those, follow. They will go right into your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We're reading all your emails. We love hearing from you guys. You guys have been fantastic since the season came to an end. Send them in. We'll be recording later today as you hear this, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at JacksMonNBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is bogus. These guys are ridiculous.